It's Dorian from Tensei Mods. Today we're going to talk about owning and operating a video game business, primarily online, but still selling locally. Just what goes into it, the day-to-day operations, cost, what's the real live hustle of selling video games. A lot of people call it a hustle, but for me, this is a legitimate business. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of time. And I just want to see if you guys are interested in what goes into all of this. So first and foremost, this business started on a whim for me. I love retro video games. I love modern video games. I've always loved video games. I never really thought I wanted to own a video game store or a video game shop or anything of that nature. When I was little, I used to want to program video games, but I got into programming in school, and I really struggled with JavaScript and all that stuff. So I decided that wasn't for me. Ended up doing construction for 15 years, started dabbling in crypto, ended up getting a crypto job about 2 years ago. That went to absolute poop. And then I stumbled across a Steam Deck, started emulating games, and then I started buying games, and then the next thing it evolved into a full-fledged business where at one point I had 2 other people working with me. I'm back solo again, but that's a whole nother story. So my main goal with this was social media based. I've seen that a lot of guys use YouTube to their advantage. They use IG, some of them on Twitter or X as they call it now. But I've seen that Facebook just was not being utilized other than big gaming groups where a lot of people use GNS and all this stuff. And it's more so just collectors getting rid of pieces. I wanted to be like, this guy is Tensei Mods. He runs a business, he's legit, and it was a slow grind of just providing top tier service. When I first started, didn't have very much money. So I would sell a PSP to someone in Indiana and I would ship it to them. They would send me the money with no GNS or anything like that, just direct, Zelle, anything like that. Something would go wrong and I would give them their money back. Or I'm thinking of one instance where a PSP, the battery went bad. And this was before I knew that the batteries are 20 years old at this point and they're gonna go bad. So I didn't know. I just think like, oh, it turns on. I know now to replace batteries. But that was a learning experience for me. I think if you go into this business just trying to maximize your profit with the intent to sell stuff fast, move on, don't care, once you made your money, you're gone. My thing was like making sure people were happy with whatever they got, because I had learned when I started collecting again was I would go buy stuff on Facebook Market and even from game stores. Get home, stuff doesn't work. Sure, game stores have return policies, so it's no big deal. But Facebook Market don't got no return policy. You buy something, it don't work, those people are gone. So me personally being social media based, I wanted to be like, we offer 30 days, we do repairs. I learned this stuff on a whim. Everybody's like, where did you learn all this? Dude, I just got on YouTube. I used to watch ASMR videos of people taking consoles apart and just cleaning them. Or shout out to J-Boy Mods, who now sends me consoles occasionally. I used to watch his videos of him doing repairs and mod work and all types of stuff on Game Boys. So it was really just, I wouldn't say destiny, but I was watching that stuff with no intent on starting a business. But it kind of just steamrolled as I seen it progressively take off. There was a point where I would be at my normal job, construction, and my phone was so busy and I was on my phone so much that I could not focus at work. And that's when I had to make the jump to go full time about 2 years ago. And there was also a couple other things I learned too, where I was so competitive in my mind where I would just be like, I'm going to crush the competition. I wouldn't say it out loud or anything like that, but that's what I would be thinking in my head. I'm going to be better than these other video game sellers. And I would go above and beyond, brag and boast about it, but that's just what I would do. I would be like, yo, we're gonna take care of you no matter what. I want you to be happy, even if I lose on a couple deals, to make people happy. And there's some people that will abuse those situations, certain customers, so you got to be careful with that. I'm at a point now where you're not going to be able to abuse me or my policies with my business. So I wouldn't say go crazy just giving everybody their money back stuff, because some people will buy stuff and a year later tell you, oh, I just plugged it up, it doesn't work, I get my money back. Nah, that's not how this works, bro. But I learned that it really ain't even a competition thing. There's enough to go around for everybody in this business. I work with tons of game stores now. other resellers. There's just so many different avenues of making money and being efficient in whatever niche you're in. I do amazing in handhelds because I mod them and I do certain stuff like that. So I could pay market for them. And then there's other game stores that do great with N64s, and I can't sell an N64 to save my life. So we can exchange things. There's so many ways to work together. It's not a competition thing anymore for me. It's more like, let's all work together and make sure the customer is happy at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, we are preserving or trying to preserve and provide nostalgic retro items for people that do require maintenance now, because some of these game systems are 30 years old. They're not going to work like they used to 30 years ago. But I will say the one thing is, with social media based, where you're just always available, I kind of get to burnout modes sometimes. I personally don't really reach that mode because I kind of got this never stop turning engine where I can't stop working. I will just work forever. It's not that it's hard work though, because I've come from blue collar construction where it's like you got to break your body down to make this money. Somebody just write me at 1 a.m. while I'm trying to relax and play a video game or hang out with my lady. I'm like, oh well, I just got to figure out some numbers and blah, and we can make that shake. So I'm still getting adjusted to when is the cutoff. I still struggle with that part, because when you're social media based and your whole business runs through social media, and you get to my level, which is not even a big level, I only got 20K followers across all social media. There's somebody writing me every 5 minutes, it feels like. And it could be any time of the night. I'll sit down to play a video game at 2 in the morning after I finish packing all my packages, and there's somebody writing me from California. I will say I do kind of envy game stores a little bit. I've always been anti-game store. I love going to game stores, but I never wanted to own a game store because I don't want to be out of my house. I want to be able to just work at my house. But there's pros and cons to each. I think the pros of mine are that I can go to the gym. I can still operate my business efficiently. I don't have to be somewhere for 5 to 8 to 9 hours a day. But the cons are there's still a lot of people locally that want to buy stuff off me. So my house kind of feels like a store at times. I have a P.O. box where I meet people that I don't know. I've made a lot of relationships with locals now that I consider regular. Some of them I consider good friends now. They've bought so much stuff off of me. And shout out to them guys, because regular returning customers are what keep your business afloat. Even if it's only 2% of all the games you sell, if somebody returns, you don't understand how much that helps. It's insane. There's people that just buy stuff all the time, regularly. And you never know who it's going to be. If you sold to 5,000 people and 2% of those are return customers, that's huge. Cons and shows, those are awesome too. Great way to build relationships with people all over the country, because we've done shows in toured Cleveland, and I've met cool guys like Mike from Florida, Roger from The Void, that's my dude, Brandon, Poly Collectibles, Games for Less. Those guys, they're local to me, but we've worked deals with each other. Arcade Legacy, I don't think they do shows, but they're a big presence here locally. I love that store. That's one of my favorite retro game stores. But getting to the point where it's not that we're competition for real. We're all in this together. We work together in certain ways that are beneficial for each other. In certain ways, they're not. There are times where I might get something somebody else is going to get, and it's just the way the cookie crumbles. It's not the end of the world. There's always more games to go around. All this stuff is just shuffling around, to be quite honest with you. I used to get nervous. What if I buy every locally and there's just nothing to source? Well, I built my social media to the point where I source the nation now. I don't just source my little 10-mile radius area. So that don't worry me too much. And game stores, I just see how much stuff they get from people just walking in. There's so many games to go around. So if you build a social media, you don't got to go to yard sales. You don't got to go to Goodwill bins or nothing like that. Well, you would never find a game in a Goodwill bin unless you're like hit the lottery lucky. But my thing is, I never wanted to be sourcing regularly at yard sales or anything like that. It's just not sustainable. You're not going to find a lot of good quality stuff. I'm not saying you can't hit licks there. You can, but Me personally, I'd rather just pay up for the goods, know it's good, come from a collector, or just a grandma. Today, a lady posted 2 PSVs for $25. I know she got a million messages because those are worth 150 a piece. I wrote her and said, I'll give you 125 per right now, just because that's what I pay for them. And she was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. She marked it sold, picked them up. She was extremely happy. Sold me more games and said if she finds anything else, she'll sell me more games. So me personally, I'd rather just pay up for the goods. So I believe I found my niche. My stuff is online primarily. I will do shows. I still sell locally, but my main source of income is online. So that works out great for me. Make sure you have a good supplier for packing materials. There's all types of ways to reuse stuff, and make sure you're not spending a boatload of money on packing materials. I used to go to Staples and buy a box every time I sold something, and a box from Staples cost $10 versus 50 cents from a wholesale supplier. But I'll just say, if you're thinking about starting a video game business of any sort, just do it. Get on YouTube, watch videos, learn stuff, learn the market, learn what works in your area. I did not have this in my deck of cards at all. This was not planned. I just did it. No excuses. I learned from YouTube, and I won't sit here and say I learned everything on my own. I learned stuff from other resellers, talking to other people. I made good friends. Shout out to my boy Zach. That's my dude. He used to work with me. He's now doing his own thing. Great learning experience. I wouldn't change it for anything. It's changed my life. And if you want to change your life, or you want to just do something you enjoy doing, because I enjoy this stuff. This is fun to me. I wake up in the morning and I'm excited. I don't know what I'm getting into. That's one thing I'll say with this business. If you're like me, if you're a brick and mortar, it'll probably be a little bit different. But my day to day, I don't know what I'm getting into, because I don't know who's going to hit me up on social media. But I'm going to tell you what, there's going to be somebody every single day. But I appreciate everyone that's ever bought anything, traded in anything, anyone that's ever done business with me, or any other business that's business to business transaction, all of it, man. None of this would be possible without y'all. So make sure you like, subscribe, and check out the next video.